OmegaGreed YouTube channel where we do a whole bunch of fun car things together and we learn things about cars. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jeffrey. I do videos on the Dodge Challenger RT, lifted Jeep Grand Cherokee, Hyundai Veloster N, and now the Miata, which is the project car on the channel. And today we're talking about the Miata. So on my channel, I really want to let you guys know, like, I'm a normal person, not a mechanic, don't have a mechanical background or anything like that. I mean, I can follow instructions and stuff like that, but I'm not some world-class mechanic under any stretch of the imagination. So on my channel, I try to do things that I think other people could do. So usually, well, that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to do projects like on the cars, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. So the thing that we're going to be tackling today is going to be doing the shifter rebuild kit for the Mazda Miata. Doing that, and I'm just changing out the shifter knob, because when I bought the car, it's not like it's the worst. It's a little bit sloppy, and usually that is like the culprit, the bushing for the shifter. It needs to be replaced. So I have the whole entire shifter rebuild kit. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be following another person, someone else who did like a how to do it. I'm going to follow their video to see how it goes. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. So I'm gonna let you guys know if it's worth like just doing it yourself, or would it be better to have someone else do it for you. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And if I have any hiccups or anything like that, I'm going to share that with you guys. But I do know the one thing that everyone says that they do have problems with is getting the pins out of the actual inside the shifter, I guess, mechanism, getting the pins out to get the other washers, to replacing those things. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can do it, maybe I can't do that, but we're going to see. But as you guys can see, we do have the seats out. So the passenger seat is there. I've been cleaning these seats like non-stop. Everyone has issues with this. This is the part that always rips up. So I do plan on getting racing seats. I do want to run a racing seat, at least for the driver's seat. Like I think I said in my last video, I already have a seat planned out with the bracket to place it in there. My biggest thing is, though, I don't want to run a racing harness because I'm going to really use this as a daily for the summer for right now, just because it would be great to have this, to use this mostly in the summer, you know, when it's warm out. But I am going to be doing autocrossing, so I do want to do a racing seat. I don't know if I want to do a harness or not. My biggest thing is the seatbelt. Now I want to keep the stock seatbelt, but the seatbelt mechanism is like attached to the seat. I think you can unattach this and still bolt this back into the frame of the Miata, and you can use the stock seatbelt and just have a racing seat. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm gonna probably put the seats back in there today for right now, because I'm not gonna get seats for at least, like, I don't know, maybe a couple, maybe for like next month I'll get seats. But I was trying to figure out a way if I can just fix this. I think I'm gonna put like just a pad or something over this, just so it's not looking so bad. The passenger seat looks a lot better. Right now, I'm going to go live to tell you guys about what's going to happen with the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So hopefully you guys obviously that video is going to go up before this one, because I'm about to go live and just do that real quick. So if you're interested in what's going to happen with the Jeep Grand Cherokee on the channel, check that video out if you haven't seen it. But without further ado, let's get into everything. So I'm really excited to like get started on this project. So let's go. Alright guys, so first things first, we gotta take out everything that's in here. I pretty much have to have everything just laid out. All my tools over here and everything's down there. What I'm gonna be doing is taking out the center console first. This is the first step. I might need to, honestly, I should like pop this thing. I might in a minute, because I don't have the key to open up the window. But see, the seats are out, so I have a little bit more room. So I'm gonna be taking all this stuff off. This shouldn't be that hard, doesn't seem like it is. I know that there are screws back here. These pins look like this was already taken off at one point in time. Oh, yeah, this was definitely taken off at one point in time. I have my shift. Oh, I'm gonna take this one off real quick. This is the NRG shift knob. I'm taking this one off because I have a new one that I'm going to be using. I think this whole thing, oh yeah, this thing is like ready to go. So I know there's two screws inside of here, and I don't know, there might be some other. I'm going to see. Once again, I'll have it linked down below, the tutorials that I'm following. So if you guys want to know how to do this, you guys can. And what I'm going to do to keep everything in the car, I'm not going to be throwing stuff around, so I can make sure I know where everything is, so I can always find where everything is. Also, really quickly, the one thing, which I'll show you guys. The one thing everyone says you got to be careful with is when you lift this up so it doesn't hit these. So you kind of have to, I believe, let's see, oh yeah, this is ready to go. Wow, that was really simple. So, you just gotta be careful. And it pushes right through that. What else is attached? Just my window, what's attached still? the window switches. So I'm going to unplug those, and then we will get to everything that's under here. I think just unplugging this is literally just a pin. Wow, yeah, so this my thing was still missing those two pieces. So because the person, yep, they ran for the radio, they ran the Bluetooth calling wires. They ran that all down there. I'm gonna just throw that down there for right now. Hopefully I don't snag it. But now I'm just gonna move all this stuff up. This should just come up. This still attached? Don't know. Oh, this has to come up too. I believe this still has to come up. First obstacle that I came to, just unplugging this from here. I had to use something like this. This is like, and hopefully the camera will focus, but it's a really, really small like prying tool just to pop off that little thing. Once you do that, this whole thing will come off. So this whole thing came off. So that's pretty simple, pretty, quick. But that is one thing though you will probably have some problems with, just getting that disattached. All right, first thing I'm noticing, this is the sound deadening stuff. You can just move that out the way, put that down there. First thing I'm realizing, there's supposed to be a shifter boot. All that's gone, completely gone. It just melted completely through, or just corroded all the way through. So I don't have one at all. We definitely need to, thankfully I have the whole new thing to replace all this because there's nothing there. But it is kind of cool just to see, like, put the clutch in, you can feel it. Like this is just the mechanical mechanism that physically puts the car in gear. So that's pretty cool to see. But yeah, so we're gonna clean all this stuff up, and yeah, let's keep going. Right now we're just taking off all of the bolts. There's 4 bolts to take this whole rubber thing off, and we're doing that real quick. And they're all taken off. This whole thing just comes right out. Oh, yeah, that's probably past its time. It's gonna go right there, and you can see everything all the way through. This looks pretty gunked up, and it really is just the floor right underneath there. You can see the transmission. These Miatas are pretty simple in their design. Like this is straight up going right down. The transmission's right there. All right, sorry guys if you noticed the dip in quality. I just switched to my phone real quick as I let my camera charge. Man, I know this Sony Alpha line, like the batteries. Oh, I know it's just a lot. I'm letting it charge up a little bit. But so the big thing is right now I'm just unbolting these. This should take me no more than a couple minutes. It's actually the same size as it was for these outer bolts. So I'm putting everything right there, so it's all gonna be pretty self-explanatory to put together. These things are much longer, so you shouldn't have any problem like telling these apart from the outer ones. But yeah, just gonna undo them real quick. All right, so clearly I can see the problem immediately. Take this up. That looks great, right? I don't see a bushing at all. Whatsoever. I don't know why it's so dark. Oh yeah, look at that. That is completely like bent. It looks like, I don't even know what is going on here. This is not, I don't think it's supposed to look like this. Once again, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not an expert. I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Thank God I have this rebuild kit. This is gonna make this thing feel so much better. Because it didn't feel terrible, but it felt a little bit sloppy, but yeah, I can tell. So hopefully after, wait, let me make sure that doesn't fall. So hopefully after doing this, it's gonna feel 100 times better. So yeah, take it up. Shouldn't look like this. I know that much for sure. This whole ring up there is like bent. Everything seems to be just off. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to clean this off. I'm gonna be careful with this and put that down right there. And then we're gonna continue to examine all of this. Like it looks like, what? Why is this like that? And it looks like the pin that they took off. Let me just stick my finger down there. There's like no bushing. There's nothing down there. It was just like in it, like just by itself. Huh. Looks like there's, yeah, these are the pins everyone says they're like super hard to get off. But this is coming out. I can see that. Why is this is not fully connect? This is not fully like through either. All right, so we're gonna have to like do some investigating and do some research to see why is it like this, because that doesn't look normal. Once again, not an expert, but that just doesn't look normal. And there's so much just like grease. All right, guys. So I cleaned up everything. The one thing I'm realizing, looks like this piece is metal. Looks like someone at one point in time must have upgraded this, because this is like a different style piece where this piece will slide up. I just had to slide up. Wait a minute. How did I do it? Oh, it literally just came out. I just cleaned it up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Looks like this piece might have was upgraded at one point in time. It's like a metal piece where this is, you can literally slide it up and down on this pin. So I think someone upgraded that, but I don't understand why there's no bushing or anything in there. Like there's nothing in there. That's so strange. So it looks like this pen, someone tried to push back in. They couldn't get it all the way back in. But it looks like this is holding it into place. So I cleaned this up. Now I think that might be fine. I'm gonna see, but we're gonna move on to actually doing the whole shifter rebuild kit of doing the shifter and getting all this stuff cleaned up. But we're gonna move back into the garage, have a little more space, and I can use a different camera. So now we're back in the garage. Camera's literally plugging up and charging while I'm filming this. So here's the rebuild kit. So it has all the washers and the actual bushing and everything like that, and a new shifter boot. It's not really a shifter boot, but this part. So you have to take off all this stuff. Normally, if there was a bushing still on there, you would have to grab it and like pop it off. This one doesn't have it, so I have to just leave it like that. Have to remove this. I think this should like slide off. You kind of have to like force it off. All this stuff will come off, so you can get everything cleaned. And I'm gonna wipe everything down, clean it up a bit. This is like another part that came out of the thing. I'm not fully sure what this is, but I just took that with it. So we're going to clean all this stuff up and get it clean as we possibly can, and then we're going to start putting the other parts back on it. So let's do that right now. Okay guys, so I'm not gonna lie to you, that's probably the hardest part of it all, at least so far. We're just getting all the pieces off of here. The hardest part was getting this, it just fell, reason why there's hair on it, but getting this piece off. Getting that piece off is the hardest part, because that piece you have to, basically I just had to break it off. Everything else can slide up over the top. Now putting everything back on, you should be able to slide it over here and then slide it down here. So you don't have to worry about that. It was just the hardest part was getting that piece off. I could have probably technically slid it up, but I chose to take this off first. Once I did that, I was able to slide everything up. I had to rip the this part that was there that had to get taken off, and that allowed this to be taken off. And yeah, so once that's off, so far that's been the hardest part. I'm gonna clean everything up, and then we're gonna start reassembling everything. So you have the bushing, you have the new this piece, the rubber gasket, and there's some other stuff. Now I believe some of the stuff that's in there, these two things were things that's already inside there that I believe if you take the pin up, that is what goes inside of the shifter. I have that metal piece, which I think someone might have upgraded at one point in time, so I'm not going to replace those pieces. I'm replacing these pieces along with this and the big gasket thing, so like this thing. So I'm going to reassemble everything, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when it's reassembled. Guys, pro tip, what I just did, which I wish I was filming, but I stopped filming for a second, it wasn't going on properly, so I pulled it off. I just used some normal lubrication, sprayed it on it, and it just popped like on super easy. So if you're having problems getting this on, use some like lubrication, this thing will pop on. The bushing that I put on it, now this feels so much better, much more tighter. So this should be basically the rebuild kit. I put on this piece right there, this top piece, and the actual bushing itself. So this is pretty much all the stuff that I put on here new. I left, this is a piece that I believe is the metal piece that's inside my car right now that I think someone else must have upgraded at one point in time. I'm gonna look again, but that's the piece that will go on the pin. If it's broken, you would put that back on. You know, if it's not, I guess you don't really need it. You don't need to do it, at least to my understanding. So, and this is just like an extra washer, I believe, that goes down there as well. So that's everything that came in my kit. The other thing I do realize that I do have is this thing. Not really sure what this is. This might have been some type of like attachment to like make it taller. It's the only other thing I could think of, because these holes, oh actually, you know what? No, I'm looking right now. It looks like this lines up perfectly with this. So I'm assuming this stuff must have went in there at some point in time. And it must have linked up with everything. From what I can tell, this looks like this might have been aftermarket. I'm not sure. It might have been some type of I don't know the correct term, to elongate or to stretch out the shifter, because it basically looks like this went in there and all the holes, they like line up. So you would bolt this in and this would just give you like an extra, I don't know, inch or so of just height for your shifting. I don't know if I really want this. We will see. I'm gonna put everything back in the car. We're gonna see how it looks, how everything matches up without it. So let's go back into the car and get everything cleaned up. Oh guys, on a quick side note, people always ride near our house. There's like some trails behind our house, which is, it's like a little bit too, it's too big for my Jeep, which I did take the Jeep out on some of those trails back there. It's a little bit too big for the Jeep. People are all back there now with their ATVs and like their bikes, which that's the reason why I did really want a KTM, like a dual sport bike. This is what I was looking at buying before I bought the Miata, but I think the Miata is a better bet for me, at least for right now. But it would be so fun to take it on the trails behind my house. All right, guys. So the one thing I'm realizing, so once again, I'm gonna have the link down below, the tutorial that well, this is the main tutorial that I followed. I think this guy did a really good job. I'll have it linked down below. Without that piece, my thing looks like it doesn't quite reach. It looks like you will need to add in some extra, that little extra thing. All right, so after about like an hour, maybe hour and a half, everything's buttoned back up. What I did just do is I put this seat heater thing, I put this over the driver's side seat because I do plan on getting a racing seat, but right now I think that'll look fine. At least it's covering it up. I didn't even bolt down the passenger seat yet, but the driver's seat is bolted down. But I wanted to make sure I filmed the best part. I took off that NRG shift knob, and now I have this VSM shift knob, as you can see. It's a pretty basic standard one, but now let's screw it on. Gotta make sure it's tight and facing the right direction. Okay, so I have it on. It's just a teeny bit crooked. I need to like just adjust it slightly. I probably will, but right now I think I'm done. So long story short, this is what the thing looks like. It wasn't that hard. Honestly, if I could do it, anyone else out there, you guys can do it. The hardest part was just getting that gray or that piece off of the actual shift knob, which as I explained, but everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Pretty simple, and it feels great. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. It just like shifts, and like when it's in first, it's much more tight. Before it felt like it was just moving around a lot. Now it's a lot tighter. You can just feel it. But I just want to say, this thing is so fun to drive. Like, legitimately, just backing up, it's so fun. I can't wait to just like take this thing out and just like give it a nice little rip. But yeah, so I guess that's gonna be the end of the video. So if you like this video, give me a like. Follow me on Instagram, OmegaGreed, same name as the YouTube channel. Go to the website, geekswithcars.com. Follow the channel for more builds on the Miata, Jeep, Dodge Challenger RT, and the Veloster N. And we're out of here. See you guys.